How's it going, YouTube? Quentin today with another video, and today, guys, what we're bringing you is going to be the meta tier list post Blazing Dominion. Now, this is a set that you want to make sure that you are studying up on and that you are ready for, because this is going to be one of the most impactful sets that we've had in a very long time for multitudes of reasons. But I'll give you two: Phaedralus Harmonious, Dominus Spark. And what's crazy is with Spark, we have a brand new hand trap lineup alone. And now, this is only if your deck can play like both Phaedralus and the Spark, if you're going to play both of them. But if you can only play one, and it's usually just like Spark, you're going to be on Spark, Impulse, Imperm, Ash, Fua. That's a scary hand trap lineup to run against. So that's something that you want to be really ready for. And, you know, Spark is such a unique card because it works like canines. If your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or grave, you can Spark at any time. So you can wait till end phase and Spark your opponent. And you can also play around things like Phaedralus by chain blocking with monster effects in the grave or the hand, because it only responds to the monster effects on the field. So there's going to be a lot of things to really make sure that you're prepared for. But with the ban list around the corner as well, some of the better decks right now, which, I mean, we can just talk about, right? It's going to be things like Dracotail, things like Yummy. These are the best decks in the format. These might get knocked down a bit. And that means that other decks right now, especially older ones that can use both of these new cards, are going to move right on up, which is going to be really interesting to see. But without further ado, let's hop right into our tier list and talk about some of these other decks that we're going to be seeing. The first one's going to be Blzd. Now, I know people are hyped up about this, but this is rather fake. This is definitely a Genesis deck, and I know that they're getting a Droll-esque card, but that's not really unique, new, innovative. This is something that we've already played around, played through before in multitudes of ways with different cards that do the same thing. The gameplay behind this deck, the game plan of this deck, the card quality, nothing is necessarily too impressive. It might steal some regional spots because people don't know what the deck does, but I don't really foresee this deck doing a whole lot more than that. Radiant Typhoon, this deck is going to move up once the other decks get hit. I'm sure this has already taken a couple YCSs. The deck is very strong with what it can do, and I don't really see this going anywhere anytime soon. I don't really think that Konami would hit this, and this is the deck that I would be looking to pick up if you're afraid of anything else getting hit at the moment. But the other one that I'd be looking to pick up right now is going to be RDA. This is going to be an extremely strong deck coming out of the new set with the new support. Whether or not you already have your structure decks, you want to go online and pick up a core, this is a very strong deck that you're going to want to have around. And just like Blue Eyes got their support and became very playable, this is no different. RDA is going to be a very real deck that you will play against. Another one that's getting some support right now is going to be the Pradap cards. Rogue, I'm sure someone will make like a Pradap branded deck, right? It's not going to be something that's over the top crazy, but definitely something that I could see some playability on, and especially if someone like figures out something crazy with the deck, because the new support isn't bad, right? It could see a little bit more play than just Rogue, but we'll have to wait and see. Top of Rogue right now is still just RB. It's a deck that you can lose to if you're not ready for it. It's usually Striker RB. A lot of the cards play like Striker cards because they're not once per turn. So just make sure that you're aware of this. And the deck has a lot of protection against things like card effect destruction. So if you are going into this matchup, you're going to want to research it. Tier is still not the best deck at the moment. A lot of playability still, but like not the greatest. Same with Rocket. We're getting new Rocket cards, and I think that Dragon is going to be really strong, but it's only as strong as Dracotail is, because as long as there's still people in the format playing Alba in the extra deck, it's going to make Dragon a horrible time to play, because the second you start playing against something like Dracotail, it's going to feel real rough to play this deck. DDD is going to be tier 2, of course. This deck has already shown quite a few results, and it's pretty okay at what it does. Saw top 4 at the YCS, and, you know, the deck itself has a pretty competent game plan. And that's something where if you're not ready for it, then it can just catch you off guard, and you really got to know what these cards do. Mitsurugi, until there's a hit, it can play both the new cards, and, you know, it's still very strong at what it does. And you can play Mitsurugi something, right? So you can still play both of those and the deck itself, which is pretty crazy. So that's something that you really want to make sure that you are studying up on. Mitsurugi is still pretty cheap because of the modern decks. And Mitsurugi might get saved on the ban list because of the fact that Europe does not have the modern decks yet, where it should have been hit already. It probably won't be now. But it still could be, don't expect Konami to do anything more than they already haven't done, you know? Don't forget about what happened with Baron and Savage. They got reprinted and banned a week later, right? So you never really know. Elven Note, that's going to be in tier 2, probably top of tier 2. Still not the best deck. I know it's getting just some new support, but it's still not the greatest deck out there. VSK9 is going to be up here with Dracotail and Yummy, of course, and Mitsurugi. Still another very strong deck. I think this one gets hit the hardest, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see. Lunalight is going to be top of 1.5. Liger is probably getting limited. This card is absolutely nuts, and it's really hard to deal with. And I know that I was talking in Discord the other day with people, and I think that everyone in Discord was right. It's just the ease of being able to summon in towers like that, right? That's just like 3,800, indestructible, Rageki. It's a little crazy, right? So like that probably gets limited. That or like heavy poly gets banned, right? So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But Lunalight is definitely on the chopping block right now. Tier 2, bottom of tier 2, maybe like mid-tier tier 2. It's going to be Gem Knight. If someone tells you to go second, it's either Gem Knight or Striker, right? So you have to wait and see what it's going to be. But definitely not the craziest deck. Still very good at what it does, but just not very popular. Right up next to Elven Note is going to be Memento. Still a very strong deck, but again, just very out of favor, not very popular. The deck is still very competent, still has a very good combo, and can still do a lot, but not the most prevalent deck at the moment. Same with the Enneacraft, just a stun deck. It's in tier 2. It's nothing new, nothing crazy. Blue Eyes, probably like bottom of tier 2. Loses pretty hard to things like Droll, but still has a pretty good game plan. 1.5 Malice. Deck is still thriving without Whitebinder, and that's crazy to me. But I mean, hey, some decks just refuse to die, you know, and that's something that a lot of people really want to see leave the game, but Malice is still around, and it's still kicking and still doing its thing, so definitely here to stay. Tier 2, we have Orcus, still going to be around, still a very good deck, still topping, still doing what it has to do to stay in the game, so very cool to see. Magnet Warrior, somewhere in 1.5. This deck has been just like the craziest out of the blue deck. It was a Duel Links deck. Now it finally has support to be able to do what it wants to do in the TCG, which I'm here for, honestly. I think this deck is super cool. So seeing that's at 1.5, I'm pretty happy about it. Tier 2, I'm just going to rifle through a couple of these here. We have Fire King. We have the K9 for Hire deck. Both very cool. Both still have an opportunity to perform in this format. Not the craziest deck, but I wouldn't be upset if I saw somebody bring it to an event and try to do well with it, because they both have the capability. Now, as far as like an Odeon deck, probably a Rogue. I think that it's like not the greatest, and it has potential, and it kind of just comes out of nowhere, but the deck itself is like pretty okay. We have the branded Despia deck, somewhere in tier 2. Definitely not going to be the same as playing like Dracotil Despia, right? Just because that's so much more elevated and has more layers, whereas branded is like pretty tier 2. It has been for a long time, so I'm not really surprised that it's going to be here anyways. 1.5 Striker Mitsu, whichever one you want to play. This deck is crazy. This deck is very, very strong right now, and it's something that if you want to play it right out of the modern decks, you should. It's very affordable, very fun, and something that I'm going to be playing again and again until something changes. Now, this is a very diverse format without a ban list, so I'll have to wait and see, because White Force is still up here as well in 1.5. With the brand new 2 cards that it can play, and the fact that it just got the Azamina support, deck is very strong. It can do a lot, but things like Clown Clan, still going to be like mid-tier 2. It's okay. I'm sure that we'll see a couple regional tops out of it, but nothing too wild. Mitsurugi Clown Clan is probably going to be the most optimal for right now, because you're tributing monsters a lot. So, like, you know, tributing Mitsurugi cards, pretty good. So I guess we'll see that one at sometime soon, but not going to be the craziest. And then we'll definitely see Cool Tune up in tier 1. We'll have to wait and see exactly what happens with the new support and how it all plays out with the ban list, because we don't know what's all actually getting hit and what's going to get hit as hard as we think it will, you know? So, as of right now, Cool Tune definitely up there right now, because it's still going to be very, very strong. But we do have a lot of hand traps coming in the game right now, so definitely going to be interesting to see all the interactions. K9, Archmage, tier 2, very strong deck still. Same with Crystron, something that can still perform. Definitely let me know what you think about this tier list down below in the comment section. I'm definitely interested to hear what you're excited for post Blazing Dominion, because we have quite a bit to be excited for. Honestly, RDA is going to be a lot of fun. But let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.